too much of Hamas, quote, shooting its toys, close quote. Now, did I gasp out loud, Alan Jacey, when he said that? I was so taken aback. Did I not gasp out loud?
Well, you know what, Gary? I think the whole room turned into bobbleheads because we were all shaking our heads that we couldn't believe that this gentleman, an ambassador to the United Nations, would have said something as ludicrous as that. And I don't think there's any other word that I can come up with as ludicrous. I mean, it was, I thought he was actually making a fairly good point up until he referred to it as toys. And again, I mean, in our country, our toys have warning labels on them. What age? A toy is not a mortar round. Not any toy that I've seen in KB or Toys R Us.
Yeah, and here's the thing. As many of you know, I take a pretty hard line when it comes to attacks on Israel. Although I have been a proponent of the two-state solution, but I've been very dejected of late because I don't believe the Palestinians are true partners in the attempt to try to find peace. I think that they pretend to be the leadership, not the people who are suffering, but that they really don't want to.
Gary, I think the Fatah branch is still trying to cling to that old, to the two-state police, the two-state solution. I certainly don't see Hamas as being a player in that.
Right, but this is how I walked into that luncheon, and then when Shlomo Ben Ami, the former Israeli foreign minister, who was part of the government that basically gave up the farm to the Palestinians, and they still rejected the peace proposal under the Ehud Barak administration. Ehud Barak, by the way, is not related to Barack Obama. We know that he's both a Muslim and a black Christian nationalist. Maybe he's an Israeli too, I don't know. Actually, somebody suggested that. But anyway, I digress. When I heard him lay out an optimistic view that actually now there is still, with the Bush administration so late to the game, a possibility that they could end this year with an accord. And I'm kind of sitting there saying, wow, maybe it is possible. I was just shocked when I heard Dr. Riyad Mansour call the rockets toys.
Oh, you know what, Gary? I just want to make a quick comment. If he calls them toys, then the Hamas shouldn't complain about the toys that the IDF returns to the Hamas from time to time.
There you go. Maybe it's just that the Israelis have bigger toys than the Palestinians. Very, very disappointing that the diplomats such as Dr. Mansour would use such regrettable language in a forum where people from all sides are sitting together, breaking bread, hoping for peace in the Middle East. I just do not understand it. I just was shocked. Okay. Now we're going to talk about smaller toys than the toys even that the Hamas shoots into Israel. It's been nearly a year since the tragedy at Virginia Tech. In fact, yesterday there was an exhibition baseball game between the New York Yankees and the Virginia Tech Hokies, where they in commemoration of the killing last April 16th of 32 people on campus, they released 32 large orange balloons, orange the color of Virginia Tech. Very emotional day at Virginia Tech. And you'll recall, those of you who were participating in this program back then, that it was suggested that maybe we ought to put guns in the hands of students so that they can protect themselves. which a lot of people find a horrific suggestion. We ran a poll on my site, GaryBaumgarten.com, where we asked you. Of course, it was unscientific, but overwhelmingly, y'all said no, do not allow the kids to have guns. Well, since then, it has come to our attention that there's a grassroots effort among college students. I'm told that 95% of the members of this organization are students. The other 5% are professors and parents of students who are supporting this venture. Last week, when we asked students for concealed carry on campus to provide us a spokesperson, they had 21,000 members. This week they have 22,000, so I guess they are growing by about 1,000 members a week, and it's all pretty much word of mouth. David Burnett at the University of Kentucky, a student there, is here with us to tell us why he thinks that students ought to be allowed to carry guns on campus in order to protect themselves. David Burnett, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Hey, Gary, thanks for having me on.
It's our pleasure. By the way, that picture of you that we have on our site makes you look like a younger John Stossel. Has anybody ever said that to you before?
No, I have had some people tell me I look like Errol Flynn, but I would probably deny either of those rumors.
Oh, listen to that. He goes from Stossel to Errol Flynn. Okay, well, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, this is a controversial, as I'm sure you are aware, venture that you are involved in. Why don't you lay it out for the audience here, why you think you ought to have the right to carry a gun on campus and why you don't feel comfortable with the campus police protecting you?
Right. Well, a couple of points. First of all, you mentioned in the introduction talking about giving guns to students. I wouldn't take issue with that. We're actually not about giving them to the students or even to the faculty, whoever may carry them. We're about people who already have the licenses being able to carry on campus. In the state of Kentucky and in 36 other states that are shell-issue states in the United States, they have a process for obtaining a concealed carry permit. And once you obtain this permit, there's a process that differs from state to state as far as how you go about getting that permit. In most cases, it requires classroom instruction, a live fire exercise. Like I said, it's different just from state to state, but they have ways of determining some ability with the gun. And you have to go through a background check, which is almost uniform across the states. And once you have that permit, then you are authorized to carry a handgun concealed within your state. And, most people like to do this for defense, protection. You mentioned the police.